Hello kids, welcome to another episode of Scratch. I'm still your Scratch tutor, Ijoma. So today we'll be looking at conditional and simple AI. Okay, let's start. Understanding conditionals and Scratch. Okay, conditionals are if-then statements that allow a program to make decisions based on specific conditions. For example, in Scratch, a conditional check if a sprite touches another object. So we'll do a mini project, okay, without wasting any time, to help us understand how conditional in Scratch works. Okay, so in this project we're going to make a hen eat and say yummy using the if then loop. Okay, so the first step we'll be taking is to choose our hen, of course, by going to the sprite library and then choosing hen. Then the second step we'll be taking is to choose our backdrop. We'll be using tree. That is a backdrop named tree. That's what we use for this project. Then the first code we'll be using is when green flag is clicked, and the second is our forever loop. The third one is the next costume. The fourth one is wait 1 second block. I'm sure you all are familiar with this block by now. The next one is the if then. The next one is touching bread. Okay, because we'll be using two sprites for this. We'll be using the bread and we'll be using the hen. So we'll make the hen eat the bread. Okay, and then say yummy, which we'll achieve by using the say hello block. All right, and then we'll click on our green flag to see what happens. So now we're going to navigate to our Scratch application. Okay, all right, we are here in Scratch. So let's go ahead and delete our cat. Now we'll go to our events. No, before we start coding, we have to choose our sprite and our backdrop. Okay, so let's click on our sprite icon and then we look for hen. Let's search for it instead of scrolling. All right, here is our hen. Okay, then we'll go back to our sprite library and then we'll look for bread. Let's search for it. Bread is right here. Okay, here is our hen and here is our bread. Right, so now it's time to choose our backdrop. Okay, we'll go to our backdrop, come to this search tab. Okay, and you type in tree. All right, our tree is here. You click on it. All right, it's here. So let's shift our hen here and then get our bread closer. Okay, so we are going to code now to make our hen eat the bread when we click on the green flag. Okay, so the first code we'll be using for this is when green flag is clicked, or you can choose to use when space key is pressed. I already showed you how you can do this in our previous classes, so you can also use any other block, but I like using when green flag is clicked. Okay, so the next block we'll be using is our forever loop. Now the next block we'll be using is our change costume. So in this project we'll not be using move 10 steps because we want our hen to eat at a pace. Okay, we don't want her to be walking around while eating. Okay, so now we'll click on our loops and then we'll choose our next costume. We pick this hen because our hen, it has the costume of eating. Remember I told you in Scratch, if you want to use a particular sprite, you check out for the costume it's made up of, so you know the project that you can use it for. Okay, now I want my sprite to eat, so I went to my sprite library and I searched for hen because hen has that costume. Okay, when you hover on your sprite, you see the costume that the sprite is made up of. I told you that already, right? So now the next block we'll be using is our weight. Okay, because we want it to wait while eating. We don't just want it to be eaten without waiting, right? So we'll go ahead and add our weight block. Our weight is in our controls, right? We'll take it, drag it, and we'll put it in. Then we'll just add 0, 0.2, 0.1. So let's get our if then. There's our if then, right? We have done this in our previous class, so by now it should be flowing while I'm doing this. Okay, so the next one we get is our sensing. Okay, go to your sensing and look for if touching. Let's see if the bread is there already. Okay, it's there. So let's drag and then we'll drop it here. We'll click here. Oh, we are coding for the bread instead of the hen, right? We didn't click on our hen before we started coding. You're supposed to code for the hen. Remember, I say you should just click on the sprite you want to code for. Now we started coding for bread instead of hen, which is very wrong. Okay, so we want to code for hen. We'll go ahead and remove this block and we'll click on hen. Okay, click on hen, and then we start again. Let it forever. Get your next question. Okay, this is our weight, right? Get our weight. Change it to 0.1. Now we'll get our if then. Okay, we go to sensor. We drag and we drop, and then we'll change it to bread. Okay, because the hen will be eating the bread, right? So we want it to say something, so we are going to get our say block. We want it to say yummy. Alright, let's check. It's eating too fast, so let's reduce the timing. Come right here. Let's make it 0.3. Okay, you see that? Now let's shift our bread closer. Alright, you see that? The hen is eating the bread now. Alright, you see? So that's what conditioner means in Scratch. When, let me tell you how it works. When green flag is clicked, forever, change next costume, wait 0.3 seconds, if then touching bread, then say yummy. Okay, the if then that we used here is the conditional. Okay, that's it. So now we'll go back to our slide, but before that we have to stop our project from running. Then we'll go back to our slide to see what next we have there. So the next thing we have here is exploring simple AI in Scratch. Okay, AI, you know the full meaning of AI. The full meaning of AI is artificial intelligence. So we also have it in Scratch. Okay, AI in Scratch can be introduced as sprites They use logic to think and make decisions. So that's the meaning of AI on Scratch. You program your sprite to behave like human. Okay, you know AI are computer trained by humans, programmed by humans. So you be the one to program your sprite. You choose a particular sprite and then you program it on what to do. Okay, so when you start playing the project, it will seem as if it's a computer that is acting. Okay, so now we'll do a mini project where we are going to make our sprite ask for a favorite color. Okay, just like we did in our previous class with the math quiz game. Okay, something similar to that. The math quiz game is also we can use it as an example of AI. Okay, it's an AI Scratch. All right, now let's do a little mini project. After this project, we are going to create a game. Okay, so stay still. Now the sprite to be using for this particular project is Ave. We are not going to use Ave walking. Okay, we'll use the normal standing Ave. Okay, so we choose her and then we start coding. We don't need a backdrop for this. Okay, we can do with the white backdrop in our stage, right? So now you go to your events and then you choose when green flag is lit. Then you choose your ask block. Okay, and then we use our if then else. We also used this particular block in our math quiz game. Okay, it's a conditional block. So you go to your operators and then you pick the equal to block. Then you choose answer. Okay, and the next block we'll be using is our say hello block. Okay, and the next block we'll be using is our say hello, but we'll change what's in there. All right, okay, that's it. All right, now you go to our sprite. Let's go and do it together. Okay, so we're done with this project. I'll go ahead and create a new project. All right, here we go. Go ahead and delete the cart and then click on our sprite. Let's look for average. We have two average, the standing average and the walking average. So we're going to use the standing average. Okay, that's it. So the first block we'll be using for this is when green flag is clicked. And the second block we'll be using is our ask block. Okay, you go to your sensor and you get your ask block. Okay, and we're going to type in there, what is your favorite color? Okay, you ask what is your favorite color and then you wait. Okay, then we'll get our if then loop. If then we go to our operators and get to equal to your equal to block and you place it in. And you say if then. Okay, we go to our answer, go to sounds. Here's our answer, should be here. Place it in. If then answer is blue, then say we go to our flutes and we get our say block. Then say wow. That's my favorite color too. That's my favorite color too. Okay. Else say say blue is a nice color, or you can use another thing. Let's say and just use another alternative word like blue is cool. Blue is cool. That's it. Now we play. Okay, then I click on it to ask what's your favorite color. You see, Avril is asking me what is your favorite color. I'll go ahead and tell her that my favorite color is I want to use another word. My favorite color is green. Okay, and I'll enter. Whoa, she said blue is cool. Oh, we're not supposed to type in blue here, right? We're supposed to use another word without saying blue. So when the person chooses another word, we just say else say that's a nice choice. That's a nice choice. So while you are creating your project, you also be playing it so you know when you are making a mistake and then you correct it. Okay. That's a nice choice. Okay. That's a nice choice. All right, let's see. What is your favorite color? I'll say green. And I'll enter. That's a nice choice. Okay. So I'm going to click on it again and then I'll answer blue and we'll see what she will say. What's your favorite color? Your favorite color, let me say blue. And then I'll enter. Wow, that's my favorite color too. You see that? So that's simple AI. When you're done creating this and then you expand it, you can give somebody to play. Tell the person, all right, click on the green flag and play. So the person will know you're the one that programmed it. Scratch is fun, you know. So we'll go back to our slide now. See the next thing we have. Okay, come right here and click on it. So the next thing we have here is a game. Okay, we are going to create a game. All right, so this game is like the combination of the conditional and simple AI in Scratch. We're going to program a cat to go hunting for food. Okay, and then it's going to pass so many obstacles before it will get to the food. All right, so now we are going to create our own backdrop. All right, and then we are going to create, what else are we creating? Now we are going to choose a sprite. We use our default cat for this, and we're going to choose mouse. You all know cats like eating rats or mouse, right? So we're going to use the mouse for this, and the name of our game is the Hungry Hunter. Okay, so here are the steps we'll be taking. Game description. We're going to use two sprites, cat and mouse, for this project, and we'll draw a backdrop. Okay, the cat will go in search of food, which is the mouse, but we'll pass so many obstacles before getting to the mouse. So step 1, of course, is to choose our cat. Step 2 is to choose a mouse. Step 3 is to click on our backdrop icon, and then we'll choose paint. Step 4, we are going to draw our backdrop. Okay, and this is what our backdrop will look like. All right, here is the code we'll be using for the cat. Okay, code number 1, win space keys first. Code number 2, move 10 steps. Code number 3, point in direction. Code number 4, next costume, and then we'll duplicate. Okay, we'll duplicate, and then we'll change this to arrow down, because we're going to use the 4 arrow keys on our keyboard. So we'll code for up arrow and down arrow, then we'll make our changes. So the next step is to duplicate again, and then we'll make the changes. As you can see on my screen, we make the changes to get the right arrow. We duplicate again and get the left arrow, just as we did with our B2. Okay, you remember when we were doing the B2 project, I said you should learn it because we were still going to use it to create a game. So here's the game we want to use it for. Now you all are familiar with this particular process, so let's continue. So the next step we'll be taking is to choose our when green flag is clicked. We want something to happen, right? We want our cat to go to this particular position, so we use this block to get it, and then we'll use our forever, and then our if then loop, and then touching color. Okay, so when our cat will touch this color, it's going to bounce back to the beginning position. Okay, and to start all over again. So that's what we are going to do here, and then it's going to play a sound. Then we pick another block. When green flag is clicked, wait until touching color, and then you say a ring. Okay, you say you ring. Right, so now we'll go ahead and code for the mouse after coding for the cat. For the mouse, we use when green flag is clicked, we show. Okay, this is the first time we are using this particular block, the show and hide block. Okay, then we'll get our wait until block. The next block we'll be using is touching sprite. Okay, and the next block we're using is hide. All right, and then our game will be ready. So now we'll go to scratch now, and let's do it together. I'll go ahead and delete our previous project. Okay, and now we're not deleting the cards because we'll be using this cards for our project. Okay, so we'll go to click on our sprite still, and then we'll look for mouse. Let's look for mouse. All right, here is our mouse on our stage. Okay, so we position our mouse to be here, and we position our cat to be somewhere here, but we want to build a house for the two of them, so let's place them in the middle, and we'll go ahead and reduce their sizes because they are too big, right? I want them to be size 50. I don't want them to be 100 for this project. Okay, 50. Okay, now it's time to get our backdrop. You click on the backdrop icon. We are not choosing a backdrop, we are drawing. Okay, you click on your paint, and then here we are. All right, let's draw our backdrop. Draw a white backdrop here. We already have white on our stage, but then let's just draw it. You click on your rectangle, and then you draw. Now we'll go ahead and change the color. We want it to be color white, so color white is here. That's it. So now we proceed and build a house for the cat, and then we'll go ahead and build a house for the mouse. So you click here. Let's change the color, because if you draw it white inside white, you won't see what you are drawing. So we need to change the color. So changing the color of our previous project. Alright, let's go ahead. Let's change the color. Okay, we want a brown color. Alright, I want to draw with this color. Now you click on your rectangle. Let's start from here. Go ahead. Oh, we are drawing out of the box. This is my box, because I minimized where I'm drawing. So I'll go ahead and delete it, because it's not visible on the stage. I'm supposed to draw inside here. This corner is out of my stage. Okay, so to draw inside here. Now I'll pick my rectangle again, and then I'll go ahead, draw a tiny house. See what I just corrected? I'm doing it again. We'll draw a tiny house. Okay, you see that? Now I'll draw another one. Okay, we want to get the roof. Now we'll pick our reshape too. Okay, we want to make it look like a roof, so we'll take it up. Alright, so that's it. Then let's click on our select. Let's shift the house a little, and then put the roof on top. Alright, that's it. Now we go ahead and change the color of the roof to black. Okay, it's now black. Now we have to draw the door, right? Our cat is supposed to have entrance. Now let's draw a mini door. Now the cat house is ready, so we'll go ahead and duplicate and change the color for the mouse's house. Okay, We go to our select, you click on it, you select, do copy and paste. Okay, that's the roof. We do copy and paste for the body. And then we change the color of the house, change it to green. Okay, so that is green. I also need to add the door, right? So pick it. Very simple. You have to pick it. Let's minimize. We put but we can just delete because it's stressing us, right? Let's draw another tiny. Let's draw another tiny door. I think we can do with this. Okay. Now we have to draw obstacles. So we'll click on our rectangle. Then we come to our fill and change it to red. Okay. The red stands for danger, right? So we use the danger, which is the red, to create obstacles for the cat. Okay. You can make your obstacle to be as many as you want, right? Okay. Create your own obstacles too. That's the way I'm doing. Then as we are doing it, I don't think it's necessary for this particular one to be there. Alright, let's duplicate the ones we have done. Copy and paste. Okay. I think the obstacle you can do with this. Then when you are creating your own, you can add as many obstacles as you want. The harder the game, the funnier it is. Or the funner, right? So now we'll go back to our code and go and position. Let's position our cat. Go back to your house. Then you mouse. Come to your house. Okay, we need to add a start and a finish because our game is going to start from the cat's house and it's going to finish here. Alright. So we'll go back to Click on your backdrop. Alright. Now we get our text to want to type, right? We type start. Then we change it to color white so it will be visible. You see that is our starting point. Let's take our use our select and position it to okay. Alright, that's it for our start. We'll pick our text tool again, place it inside here, and then we'll still type in stop or finish, type. Type in finish, and then go to our selector, drag, and okay, that's it. Now let's go back to our code. You see that our start and our finish. Now it's time to code. Let's click on the sprite we want to code. Okay, now we click on our events, right? Events. I'll click on when space key is pressed. We are going to change it to up key, of course, up arrow. You see that. Then we choose our move testers block. Then we choose point and direction off. Let's change the direction. The direction is not pointing up, so we take it up. You take it up the way you did with your B2 project, okay? That's exactly what we did, right? So now we will use our next costume. Here's our next costume block, right? Okay. Now you come right here and then you right click and then you duplicate, you place it here. Okay. Let's take this up. Get this up too. And then up arrow. We'll change it to down arrow. Down arrow. And then we'll change the position to down. Get the arrow to point down. Face it down. And then we go ahead and duplicate again. Okay, and then we'll change it to the right. Duplicate again. Right arrow. Change it to left. Okay, now we come to your point in the direction of this is for right. So point the arrow towards right. And then we'll come to our left. And then we'll point it to left. Left is minus 90. That's it. Now let's see if our mouse will respond. It's moving right. It's moving left, but still upside down. Remember the way I say you can turn, you can flip. You see? I just flipped our cat. Okay? You see that? And then when I do up, it's going up. When I press the down arrow, it's going down. So this is going to make it navigate. It's going to make it walk through, and locate the mouse, right? Our game is looking simple, but we're not done coding. Okay, let's make it more fun. All right, now we're going to code for green flag. Okay, we want something to happen when the green flag is clicked, right? So when green flag is clicked, go to your event. When green flag is clicked, go to this particular position. Let's place it properly in front of the house. Go to when green flag is clicked, go to this. Okay, and then we get our forever. We drag it and we place it under here. Okay, let's take this. We have to shift our code so we have space. Okay, all right. Now we have space. Okay, now forever. If we get our if then, if touching color, where is our color block? Our color block is in sensor. If touching color, that's the red. If touching this red color, we want something to happen. Okay, so for us to get the exact shade of the color, you click on this tiny icon here, and then you go with it and locate the red color and click on it. Now I've changed to red. Okay, if touching color red, okay, then go back to this position. Okay, if it touches this red color, you want it to go back, and then you start afresh. That's how the game, want to program the game to do. So you have to avoid this red color while taking your cards down to the mouse. Okay, so we'll go and get this particular block again, and then we want a sound to play when it touches the red color. We want it to play the meow sound. So let's see if the meow sound is available, or if we go to our sound library. Okay, the meow sound is available. Meow sound is the cat sound. Okay, it's going to go meow, and then it will bounce back to the beginning. Okay, so let's see if it's going to work. You click on the green flag, and then you start playing with your arrow keys. You hear that? All right. As you're going down, you need to avoid it. Avoid this danger by all means. Okay. All right. That's it. So now we want something to happen again when it gets down to this place. Okay. We have added the code for the obstacles. Now let's add the finish code. All right. So for the finish code, we'll go to our events and we'll get when green flag is clicked. You drag it and you drop it here. Okay, and then we'll go to our controls and get our wait until touching. Go to our sensor until touching color. Let's use the green color. Okay, we can actually use until touching a mouse. Okay, but I want to use the color now, so you all learn how to use this color very well. All right, so we're going to drag it. Wait until touching the green color, okay, which is the mouse's house. Okay, so now we want to get the exact shade of the mouse's house color, so we will have to get the the mouse out, and then we'll click right here, because what we have here is yellow. Okay, we're going to change it to green. That's lemon green, right? So you click here, then my mouse is over, you click there, and then your mouse will take you to this place. Not black, try to get the green. I've gotten the green color, you see it. So now when green flag is clicked, wait until touching color green. Then we want something to happen, right? We want it to say you win. So we'll go to our looks and get you win block. We remove the hello, and then we'll type in you win with an exclamation mark. Okay, when green flag is clicked, wait until touching color green, say you win, and we want it to play a sound. Okay, and then play a sound for us. We need a cheer sound. You know, when you win, when you are victorious, you get that cheer sound. Okay, so we have the cheer sound in our sound library. So let's go to our sound and see if it's there. Oh no, it's not there because we have not selected it. So now let's go to our sound. Then you come right here where my mouse is over. You click on it, and then we'll type in cheer. You hear that sound? Alright, that's the sound we are looking for. We have selected it already. Let's go back to our code, and then you see the sound is here already. So we are going to drag this sound, the sound block, and we'll drop it under this place. Okay, so let's take our mouse back to its normal position. See? Okay, now we have to play and see. Click on your green flag and start playing. Now I have to avoid this obstacle by all means. Is it going to touch? Hey, wait. It just did. Okay, let's play again. Okay, it's passing by. That's wonderful. You know, let's get it done a little bit. Don't touch, don't touch, don't touch. Alright, let's go. Calm down, calm down, calm down. Alright. You see, you win. But we want to add more actions to this game, okay? So we'll take our cat back, and then we want to code for the mouse. We want something to happen, okay? The cat is coming down to hunt the mouse. So when it gets here, it's supposed to look like they're eating the mouse, okay? So the mouse is supposed to disappear once it comes in contact with the cat. And this is where our when touching sprite block comes in. Okay, I've told you the function of this. We have done a mini project on it in our previous project, so I know you are familiar with it. Now we go to our sprite area and we click on mouse because we want to code for mouse. Remember, I told you that whenever you want to code for a particular sprite, you have to click on it, and when you want to code for your backdrop, you still click on your backdrop. Okay, now I've clicked on my mouse, and now it's time to code for my mouse. So I'll go to my event. I want something to happen, right? When green flag is clicked, we'll go to our loot block and we want it to show, right? I want it to be visible. Okay, and then we look for our wait block. Wait until, there we go. Wait until, go to our sensing block. Wait until touching, wait until touching sprite 1. Our sprite 1 is our cat, as you can see here. Then we want it to hide. Okay, so we'll go to our loops block and we'll look for hide and we'll place it under it. When green flag is clicked, show, and then wait until touching sprite 1, which is our cat, then hide. So we're going to play this game again. We'll click on our green flag and then we'll start. Oh, we need to avoid the obstacle, right? Wow, bravo, I won. Okay, so you go ahead and finish up your own game and enjoy yourself. All right, that would be the end of today's class. Okay, see you now next class. Bye.